Have you ever noticed that the harder you chase something, the further it seems to slide away from you? Like the moment you desperately need a sale, clients disappear. The moment you're totally relaxed on vacation, 3 opportunities land in your inbox. That's not a coincidence. That's not luck. That is a law. And it's one of the most misunderstood laws in the entire universe. What's actually happening is this. Reality doesn't respond to your effort. It doesn't respond to your goals written on a whiteboard. It responds to the frequency you are holding, moment by moment, in your body, in your thoughts, in the state you're walking around in all day long. And once you understand that, really understand it, not just intellectually nod at it, but actually feel it, everything changes. In this video, I'm going to show you how to lock into a frequency so grounded and so magnetic that reality genuinely has no choice but to organize itself around you. Let's get into it. My name is Daniel Moreno, and I want to start with something Neville Goddard said that took me years to fully unpack. He said, "You don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are." And the first time I heard that, honestly, I kind of glazed over it. I thought I understood it. I didn't. Because what he's pointing at is something far more radical than most people are ready to accept. He's saying the outer world is not responding to your hustle. It's not responding to your vision board. It's responding to your state of being. The internal frequency you're emitting, whether you're conscious of it or not. Neville called this the law of assumption. And the law of assumption says that whatever inner state you consistently inhabit, that state becomes your reality. Not sometimes, not occasionally, consistently, reliably, mechanically. The state you hold gets reflected back to you in the physical world. He talks specifically about learning to live from what he called the state of the wish fulfilled, which means operating from the inside as if the thing you want is already done, not hoping it will happen, not visualizing it happening in some far-off future, feeling it as already true right now. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Daniel, that sounds nice, but isn't that just positive thinking? And here's where it gets genuinely interesting, right? Because it's not just Neville saying this. The ancient Hermetic tradition, and I did a deep dive into this that I genuinely did not expect to go as far as it went, talks about the law of correspondence. As above, so below. As within, so without. The outer world is a correspondence of the inner world. Full stop. And now, science is starting to catch up. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field that extends well beyond the boundary of your physical body. Your cells literally emit photons, light. Quantum physics shows that the act of attention itself can influence outcomes at a measurable level. So when you look at all of this converging, ancient Hermetic law, Neville's law of assumption, and modern quantum mechanics, they're all pointing at the exact same thing. You are broadcasting a signal at every moment, and life can only echo that signal back to you. Here's the analogy I want you to sit with. Imagine you're holding a tuning fork, right? And the room around you is full of other tuning forks at different frequencies. When you strike yours, the ones tuned to the same frequency will begin to vibrate in resonance. They have no choice. That's not magic, that's physics. And your internal state works the same way. Whatever frequency you're holding, abundance, scarcity, confidence, anxiety, reality finds the matching tuning forks and hands them to you. So here's the question that actually matters. Not how do I get what I want, but who do I need to become in order to already be at the frequency of what I want? That is the shift. That is everything. And I'll be honest, I personally think this reframe is the most underrated insight in all of personal development. Everyone's obsessed with strategy, with tactics, with productivity hacks, but almost nobody is asking, what frequency am I walking around at? Because that single variable is determining more of your life than every tactic you've ever tried combined. Okay, so now let's take this to the next level. Because understanding that you need to hold the right frequency is one thing. Actually doing it, staying in it when life is throwing chaos at you, that's an entirely different conversation. And this is where two concepts come in that completely rewired the way I think about action and manifestation. I'm talking about inner intention and outer intention. Here's the distinction. Inner intention is your personal egoic will. It's the prefrontal cortex firing up and saying, I'm going to go out there and make this happen. I'm going to hustle, grind, force, push. Most people live their entire lives operating exclusively from inner intention, and they wonder why they're exhausted and why results feel like they're constantly fighting them. Outer intention is something different. Outer intention is the force that's already moving. It's the current that exists independent of you, and your job is to align with it, not to manufacture it. There's a book I read a while back by a Russian quantum physicist named Vadim Zeland. It's called Reality Transurfing. Look it up. And this man lays out this distinction with a level of precision that genuinely stopped me cold. He describes outer intention as the power that allowed figures like Jesus to walk on water. Now, whether you take that literally or metaphorically, the point stands. There are forces in this universe that dwarf your individual willpower, and the question is whether you're fighting them or sailing with them. And that's exactly the metaphor he uses, a sailboat. Inner intention is you adjusting the sails. Outer intention is the wind. Your job is not to create the wind. You can't create the wind. Your job is to position your sails so that when the wind moves, and it will move, you're already oriented to receive it. So in practical terms, what does that look like? It means you take the next right action your intuition is pointing you toward. You don't force 5 steps ahead. You take 1 step, and then the next step becomes visible, and then the next. You're not pushing the boat. You're steering it with precision while the wind does the heavy lifting. I remember when I was building out the content side of what I do now. I had this window of about 4 months where I was putting everything out and genuinely could not see any traction. And I mean nothing. I would sit at my desk at like 11 p.m. and think, is this even doing anything? Is anyone out there? And I had this moment where I consciously made the decision to stop gripping so hard, to stop white-knuckling the outcome, and just focus on doing the next right thing, creating the next piece, trusting the process. Within about 6 weeks, things started to shift in ways I couldn't have engineered. New connections appeared. The right people showed up. That was outer intention. I adjusted my sails, the wind came. Now here's the thing about inner intention that people get wrong. It's not useless, it's essential, but it has one job, just one. Inner intention is there to help you put one foot in front of the other, to keep you moving on uncharted terrain. Not to force outcomes, not to manipulate circumstances, but to move with consistency and let outer intention do what only outer intention can do. The moment you start using your personal will to try to control every variable, you're working against the very force that could carry you. And one more thing. I want to flag something because it comes up every time I talk about this. Someone always asks, so does this mean I just sit around and visualize? Look, I get it. I'd love it if that worked. Truly. No. The sailboat doesn't move if you're sitting in your living room imagining the ocean. You still have to get on the boat. Inner intention is the act of getting on the boat and adjusting the sails with care and intentionality. Outer intention is the wind that actually takes you somewhere. Both are required. Neither alone is enough. So now let's get into what I genuinely believe is the most overlooked piece of this whole conversation. And this brings me to the second part of a quote I've been sitting with. Man must prepare for the thing he has asked for, but he must also be prepared for whatever happens. That second clause is where most people completely fall apart. And it connects to a concept Vadim Zeland calls coordination. Coordination is simply the practice of keeping your internal state balanced regardless of what the external world is doing. And right now you might be thinking, okay, that's just emotional regulation. I've heard this before. But here's what makes this different. Coordination isn't about being numb to outcomes. It's about reducing what Zealand calls importance, the excessive emotional charge you put on a specific result, so that the pendulum of external circumstances can't knock you out of your frequency. He talks about pendulums, these energetic structures in the world that are constantly trying to pull your attention into three specific states: fear, anger, and pride. Not because the universe is malicious, but because those states are the most exploitable. Fear makes you contract. Anger makes you react. Pride makes you overextend. And the moment you fall into any of those three states unconsciously, you lose your internal balance. Your frequency drops. You stop being the one steering the sailboat, and you become a passenger getting tossed around. Here's a personal example that made this very real for me. A few years back, I was in a situation with a financial decision. I'm being deliberately vague here, but stay with me, where I had tied way more emotional weight to a particular outcome than I should have. I was checking the situation constantly. Every update either sent me into relief or dread. And what I noticed was that my thinking became genuinely worse during that period. My creativity dropped, my decision-making was reactive. I was operating from fear, and fear, as it turns out, is a terrible frequency from which to attract good outcomes. Shocking, I know. Revolutionary stuff, Daniel. The moment I made peace with the worst case, actually sat down and said, okay, if this goes sideways, here is my plan B, here is what I do next, everything inside me settled. And shortly after that, things started turning around externally. That's not a coincidence. That's coordination in action. So what does lowering importance actually look like in practice? It means you continually prepare for what you want. You spend the majority of your time in the state of the wish fulfilled, holding that frequency, taking the aligned actions. But you also make genuine peace with the possibility that things might not go to plan on the timeline you expected. Not as a resignation, not as giving up, as a strategic release of the white-knuckle grip that is literally blocking your signal from getting through. Think about a trader who puts on a position risking more than they can emotionally accept losing. Every tick against them is agony. Their cortisol spikes, their judgment clouds. Compare that to someone who has sized their position correctly, knows exactly what they're willing to lose, and can watch the trade move against them for a period without losing their internal state. Who do you think makes better decisions? Who do you think is operating from a higher frequency? The preparation for the downside is what gives you the internal freedom to fully commit to the upside. And here's the key thing, and I want to be very precise about this because this gets misunderstood. Preparing for failure does not mean expecting failure. You're not spending 50% of your mental energy on the bad outcome. You're spending maybe 5% to acknowledge it, make a plan for it, and then set it down and never pick it up again. The other 95% is full commitment to the vision, full preparation for the thing you've asked for. That asymmetry is everything. So to bring this all back together, the frequency that makes reality obey you is not a mystical accident. It's built from three things working together. First, knowing that you manifest from the state of being you hold most consistently, not from wanting or hoping or efforting. Second, aligning your personal will as inner intention with the larger force of outer intention, adjusting your sails and letting the wind move you. And third, coordinating your internal state so that external turbulence can't knock you off your frequency long enough to break your signal. You hold those three things steady and reality doesn't resist you. It organizes around you. That's not a promise I'm making, that's a law. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.